This is brutal. The Florida Panthers have two players on the roster that will be out, one due to injury, the other has personal reasons, understandably. So they have called up one specific player who's not seen action yet this season, who will be put on the fourth line with two other guys who have had to step up this season and had pretty decent showings in the last several games. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. I'm your host, Greg Andrews. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right down below. You guys need to stay up to date with anything and everything that has to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. Well, we already know we're down four guys. Barkov, Tkachuk, Nosek, Kulikov. Okay, now we're down two more. Jonah Gadjevich is out for at least a week with an upper body injury that he sustained toward the end of the game against the Golden Knights. He apparently took an elbow, and Brad Marchand has some personal reasons. There was a death in his family, so we're all praying for him and his family. A lot of you have probably already seen that. Doesn't matter who it is, death in a family is always a horrible thing to be dealing with, so prayers go out to him, best for him and his family. And Jonah Gadjevich, like I said, we don't know exactly what it is, but he took an elbow towards the end of the game against the Golden Knights, and so he will not be seeing action at least for the next week, but he's a tough guy, and I'm pretty sure he'll probably be back after the next 2 or 3 games. So let's just jump right into this, guys. So, like I said, Gadjo is out right now. He's not going to be there tonight. There are going to be some big-time line changes. We will get into that momentarily, and Marchand is out tonight versus the Ducks, lost in his family as per Paul Maurice. Let's keep on moving forward here. So, the other piece of news that is here is Tobias Bjornfot has been put back down to the Charlotte Checkers. So, we've loaned him there. We're bringing up Noah Gregor, who has not seen any action so far this season. So, here are some of the moves that have been made. And one other player, again, this is just really tough for the Cats because they have just been making moves left and right in the last 2 days to try to find ways to fill the holes in the roster right now. So Tarasov will be in net this evening. I think he's going to pick up his first win tonight against an Anaheim Ducks team that is playing all right now, but they have a few guys, which I'll get into in just a moment, who are dangerous that we need to be very careful when we're playing against, especially on the lines that they're in when we match up. So Donovan Sebrango, he has been called up as well, and he has been in practice in the last 24 hours. So we're starting to see a little bit of him, the young kid who just we got off of waivers from Ottawa. He's only 23 years old, 6'2", 220-pound defenseman. Good call-up, I think. Paul Maurice is starting to see things. There's a reason why he called up Noah Gregor, too. He's like, I like what I've been seeing from him on the ice in practice. Same thing for Donovan Sebrango. We'll see what happens with our defense tonight. We'll see if there's any last-minute changes to these lines and the defensive pairings. Because, again, what I'm giving you is from yesterday, not today. There's not a lot of updates. So as they come in, I'm sure you will all read about it. But this is what I'm going off of from yesterday. So, again, Gregor, I'm making his Panthers debut tonight. He says he's very excited playing on that fourth line with Kunin and Schwint, who've both been playing pretty well. I really do like the way Kunin's been playing. Schwint was great against his former team, the Golden Knights, and had that awesome goal that I'm very happy that he got it. He was thrilled to have it as well. So he says, I'm very excited. It's been a long time coming here, waiting around. I'm ready to go. The team's been playing well. I'm excited to get in. Good for him. And Sebrango is on the ice with the Panthers for the first time since being claimed off of waivers on October 15th. That was literally an hour ago. So good for that. I'm really happy to hear that there are some movement being made. Again, we don't know what's going to go on with Gadjevich. I don't think he's going to be out much longer than probably a week. But let's keep moving forward here. So again, a summary of today's movement and info from Paul Maurice. In Kunin and Gregor, out Marchand and Gadjevich, as you can see here. And here are the lines. Kind of a shakeup, yes and no. Verhaeghe, Rodrigues, Rhino on that first line, Luostarinen, Lundell, Samoskevich, Greer, Bennett, Boqvist. That fourth line, can they find chemistry on the ice tonight? I know Noah Gregor is very quick. He's a good passer. Let's hope that our fourth line can beat out the Ducks' fourth line, who is not that shabby to begin with Ross Johnston, Ryan Poehling, and Sam Colangelo. Been playing well together so far. They've tallied 3 goals, 5 assists, and an even rating for their plus minus so far this season. So we'll see what happens, because right now I can't even give you numbers really on that fourth line because Gregor doesn't have any numbers this season. So far, there's 1 goal and 1 assist and a +1 rating on that fourth line as it stands right now without doing anything for Gregor. So we'll see how those 2 lines will battle it out tonight. I'm going to say that without Marchand's leadership, it's going to be a tough one. Who's going to step up? And that's what we're going to get into in just a moment. These are the guys that we have to be very careful with on the Ducks. Cutter Gauthier, obviously. Chris Kreider, they're both playing well. You can see their goals. Gauthier is leading the team with 5 goals this season. A bunch of guys with 6 assists. Plus minus rating right there. You see Trouba, whenever he's on the ice, that line is dangerous when he's out there defensively. Great job by him this season. Scary player defensively, yes. So I'm a little, skeptical on how we're going to play tonight, but I think they'll ride the wave of energy and positivity from the game against the Golden Knights. I think they show up. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair because I know our defensive pairings have not changed since the beginning of the season. Well, I would say since Kulikov was injured, the defensive pairings have stood. Nothing has changed, so the chemistry is building there. It's what can we see from our lineup tonight? Those 4 lines, especially that fourth line, is going to be a very big question mark. So let's keep it running. Goaltending for the Ducks right now. 3.02 goals against average for Dostal, and Mrazek has a 5.5 goals against average. Not a very good save percentage. So their goaltending has not been great. They've only had 1 goal against more than we have. I think we have 28 goals against on the season, but obviously Bob has been spectacular. It's the guys in front of him that need to pick up their pace of play in terms of defensively. Both teams, I didn't want to go into the power plays and stats so far this season. This is more of the lines are so different for us. We can't really mix and match the comparisons. Missing 6 starters if you really want to think about it. Okay, we're out Brad Marchand, Thomas Nosek, Tkachuk, Barkov, Kulikov, and Gadjevich now. So 6 of our guys are out. So the stars are the guys I believe will step up tonight. I think Carter Verhaeghe really needs to have a good game. He's got to get out there and start pushing some guys around. And he's been trying to do that. He's been getting more physical in these last few games, which is great. So that first line of Erod, Verhaeghe, and Rhino, they've got to pick up the slack. Those 3 guys really have to come out, motors going, start putting the pucks on net. And Bennett, I keep circling, when is he going to have that one game that he's just going to shoot out in front of the net, put pucks home, be a disturbance in front of the net for goaltenders, and just have some sort of that piece that was there in the postseason. I know people stop picking on Bennett. We just paid him $8 million. 8 years for $64 million. $8 million a year. Yeah, he shows up in the playoffs, but we need him now. We're down, guys. This is a war of attrition that we are battling now, and everybody that is on this team needs to step up. He is the one piece that has not been showing up. Every time that I see him, I'm seeing more of turnovers, trying to make something happen, but doing a little bit too much, and then he turns the puck over. So I'm not saying he's not doing enough. He's still a body out there. He's still getting physical. Yes, but offensively, he's got to start showing up. Defensively, I think he's not terrible, but again, a -9 rating is telling me he's not doing enough out there to help his team because he's not doing anything offensively. Defensively, he's trying, but every time he's on the ice, they're getting scored on. When he's on the ice, more so than when he's off the ice. That's what the -9 means, guys. I'm not saying it's the best stat in the world to rely on, no, because it also has to do with how is the defense, how are the defensive pairings playing, how is your goaltender playing, when are the turnovers happening, things like this. When are the goals being scored on? There's so many factors that deal with a plus-minus rating for a player. So that line and the second line are going to be our 2 most important lines, and how can the chemistry go with that fourth line? Are we going to get lucky? Are we going to see them just click Three guys that have never played together. Well, Schwint and Kunin have played together, we just saw. But how is Greer going to fit in? I think his speed will be great. I think it's going to be an added bonus. The guys can pass the puck. They're not small either. They're young guys. That's the thing I like about that line. They're young. I think things are going to go well for them tonight. I think they will make a bit of a stink for the Ducks. And I want to just go over these lines again, guys. So the Ducks' first line have very good numbers. With Gauthier, Carlson, and Killorn, 9 goals, 9 assists, and a +7 rating. Really dangerous. Our first line, not so much. We have 8 goals, 6 assists, but a -6 assists and a -6 rating on the ice. Got to find a way to put pucks in the back of the net. We got to make sure that we are stopping Cutter Gauthier. Cutter Gauthier is going to keep throwing them at the net every chance, and I think that's what they're going to do tonight, knowing that we are down 2 additional guys. They're going to try to take advantage, and I'm going to show you some quotes in just a second. So that's our first line against theirs. Second line, they have Frank Vatrano, McTavish, and Seneke. They have 4 goals, 9 assists, but a -16 rating. Our second line in Luo, Lundy, and Samoskevich, we have 5 goals, 10 assists, and a -5 rating. So that line, I think, could be formidable against theirs. I think we match up a little bit better. I think we're a little bit faster. I think defensively we're a little bit better as well. But we'll see what happens there, because at a -16 rating for them, they're on the ice. A lot of goals are scored. So that means defensively, they're probably not doing as great of a job as we are. And we have better goaltending. I think, like I said, I think Tarasov gets his first win tonight. So their third line, this is the one that's interesting. Nikita Nestorenko, Mikhail Granlund, and Troy Terry. They have 5 goals, 16 assists on the season, and a +10 rating. Ours is not so good in Greer, Bennett, and Boqvist, okay? We have 5 goals, 3 assists, and a -9 rating on the ice. I think that is one of our lines that's going to make or break this game tonight. If they're not able to stick with the Ducks' third line, we might have some trouble. That might be the line that gets scored on tonight. They have a little bit trouble defensively. Can they get the offensive motor running and make something happen there? I think they can get physical, because those are 3 really great guys that can be very physical. Let's see what can happen. I already told you guys the fourth line. Ours is kind of a mystery at the moment, with Greer coming up for the first time this season. But they have Johnson, Poling, and Colangelo, who've not been terrible, but 3 goals, 5 assists, and a 0 ± on the season. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how the matchups play out with our lines tonight, because we're missing so many guys. There's such a change here from top to bottom, from our first line to our fourth line. So let's take a look at our goaltending. Obviously, Bob has been standing on his head, but not playing tonight. It's Tarasov's night tonight. Pick up his first win. I think he does. He has been playing great hockey. Let's not discount how great he has been between the pipes. Yes, he has 2 losses. Didn't get a lot of help. I mean, again, he did so much in between the pipes on the penalty kill, trying to stop pucks left that are being thrown at him left and right. I mean, guys, he's had so many saves this season already in just 2 games. I mean, look at that. 53 total saves. Shots against. 53 total shots against, 47 saves. He's played well. He's due. I think he's due, guys. So let's go back here. Take a look at some stuff from Paul Maurice and what he has to say about the new lineups and the consistently trying to change things up a bit because of all the injuries. It's a brand new team, he says, about this current squad that's going into tonight. Significant pieces are out, so you have to find groups that can fit together, the chemistry, then chart a direction with a style of game. There's been a shift this season. I think it's style of game. It's not the core foundation of what we believe or how we want to play, but we're going to look different, and different they have been looking indeed. We've seen that in the last several games. And again, when guys are dropping like flies because of injuries, because of illnesses, whatever, it's going to be big changes for this team with 4 main guys out that are on your top 4 lines. I mean, literally, we are missing not necessarily a top person from each line. You're missing a guy from your top line, a guy from your second line. You're missing a guy from your fourth line, and then your bottom defensive pairing, or your third defensive pairing, if you have it that way, or second defensive pairing. I can't remember what Kulikov is. I think it's the last defensive pairing. So you're missing key pieces everywhere across the board. And here's Nico Mikkola on what they've been working on this whole season. We've got things to improve and build on, but every team is giving their best against us. There's no free points in this league. We need a battle for every point. That's the main thing. And that's exactly what's been happening this season. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Everyone's coming at this team at 110%, knowing they can take advantage of the Florida Panthers, having big-name guys out this season in Barkov and Tkachuk mainly. And yes, Kulikov is a big piece because he does not make mistakes very frequently. He's a solid defender. So missing those three guys, and Thomas Nosek is no slouch either. I know he had his mistakes last season in the postseason, but hey, he's still a very important piece for this team chemistry-wise. And teams are taking advantage. We're seeing it across the board, top to bottom here. But can the Cats pull one out tonight? I think they do. I think Tarasov has a great game. I think they find a will. They will this team to win this evening. I think that top line really stands out. And I really think that fourth line will find a way to mesh because people, I don't understand, or I could say, I don't think other coaches understand because I'm not going to understand how they're going to play until we see them on the ice playing together. Coaches are going to be scratching their heads about how are they going to be able to cover these guys defensively, on the forecheck, every which way, because they've never seen this line play together. So it's a bit of a mystery, which could be an upside for the Panthers to take advantage of tonight. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me in this episode of Panthers Digest. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Tonight's going to be a good one. Let's see if they can win 2 in a row because they have a big road trip in the West Coast coming up in a few days. And it's not going to be an easy one, guys. It's going to be tough. It's going to really test this team again. And since they're now climbing up those rankings, they are in a playoff position now. Yes, I know it's only 10 games into the season, but they are in playoff contention. They need to kind of hold right where they are in that top 3 of the Atlantic Division and just keep this going. Wait till guys start getting healthy. Let's see how this goes. Again, not every player will be back when we want them to be back. Obviously, Tkachuk's coming back in about a month's time, about, let's call it 4 to 5 weeks, hopefully. And then we'll probably get Barkov back during the playoffs, which is what they're saying we should be getting him back for. Thomas Nosek, we'll see when he is going to be available. And same thing with Kulikov. These guys look like they could all potentially be back for the playoffs, maybe, but we're going to see. A lot of questions. I'm not a doctor. They've not been saying a lot about their exact return dates. Obviously, Kulikov just had his surgery, all of that. So we're just going to wait and see. But tonight's focus is on the Ducks. So anyways, guys, again, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what you think about the lineups, guys, because I think it's going to be a very interesting game tonight. I still think the Cats pull out the win at home. They're 5-1, playing great hockey on home ice, as they should be. So anyways, if you're at the game, cheer loud, be proud, wear your red, and go Cats.